This is A Match for Ethan, part of The Matchmaker, Agatha Returns series, written by Barbara Goss, narrated by Jamison Walker, published by Bar 26 Publishing, LLC, author copyright 2022 by Barbara Goss, production copyright 2022 by Bar 26 Publishing, LLC, all rights reserved. Chapter 1. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 1885. Claire Billings sat in the attorney's office waiting room, awaiting her brother Randolph. Her head was spinning since everything had happened so quickly. 5 days ago, the local sheriff informed Claire that her parents had perished on the train that crashed near Somerset, Pennsylvania. She hadn't even heard there had been a train wreck. She'd been prepared to pick them up at the Pittsburgh train depot at 5 in the afternoon. 2 days later, Randolph had arrived from Hagerstown, Maryland, where he ran a law office. He spent most of his visit examining and evaluating the Billings family possessions and property. He shed no tears for their parents. It seemed to Claire that Randolph had changed since he'd married Evelyn Cunningham. Before he'd left home for college, he'd been her sweet and handsome brother. A few years after graduation, he'd opened a practice in Hagerstown and met Evelyn. Now he was cold and materialistic. Could a person's nature be changed by their marriage partner, or had he always been that way, and she just hadn't noticed it? When Randolph finally arrived at the attorney's office, Claire knew why he'd been detained. He had brought Evelyn with him. He must have met her at the train depot. Claire didn't know Evelyn well, but the few times she'd been with her, she hadn't been impressed. She'd come from a middle-class family, and it hadn't taken her long to rub elbows with the Hagerstown elite. She stood when they entered the waiting room. "Hello, Randolph. Evelyn?" "I'm sorry," Randolph said. Evelyn's train arrived late. Evelyn sighed as she brushed the dust from her skirt. "Just what I wanted to do, take a train after one had just crashed on the very same tracks." Claire approached the lawyer's secretary and told him they were ready whenever Mr. Avery was. "I'll check, but I think he's ready for you." The man disappeared into a door down the short hall and then returned. "Yes, come this way, please." The attorney sat at a huge, shiny mahogany desk with papers scattered all over the top. Claire wondered how he was able to find anything. Then he opened up the filing cabinet behind his desk, removed a folder, and read Henry and Wilma Billings' will to Randolph, Claire, and Evelyn.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?